We just saw the Europa League final between Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United played at the Sam Stadium. A match between the 16th and the 17th place teams in the English Premier League, looking at who would be heading into the UEFA Champions League next season. And ladies and gentlemen, after 90 minutes, Tottenham Hotspur are your new Europa League winners, thereby ending their trophy drought. A scrappy goal by a goal nonetheless from Brennan Johnson was enough to ensure that the Lily Whites save their season and head into Europe, head into the Champions League, head into the money zone where they get to take on the likes of Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, Paris Saint-Germain, their closest rivals, Arsenal. Spurs found a way to at least make this season count. The match started with Man United heading, or at least being on the front foot. United ended up having a lot of the possession, but possession doesn't mean a thing when you don't make the most of your chances. And Spurs, after some brilliant work from Pape Matesa and Richarlison, went in front thanks to a cross from Pape Matesa. Ball bounced off Luke Shaw. Brennan Johnson toe poked it on the line to push it past hapless Andre Onana. Right before halftime, which is always a very good time to score, Spurs wound up at the break and they held on. Vicario was tested a little bit, but Man United did not quite create enough chances. Despite the fact that they had more than 8 attempts on goal, there were no real clear-cut chances. Bruno Fernandes with a miss, Shaw with a header that was saved at the end of the game, Garnacho with an attempt that was also saved by Vicario. But Spurs did their best to hold on, and whether you think it was deserved or not, the Lily Whites now find themselves in the Champions League, where they get to at least end this season on a high and plan properly with a lot of cash coming in and with the ability to attract the best players available for them for their project next season. Ange Postecoglou told us that he usually wins trophies in his second season, and he was proven right at the end of the game. Now on the flip side, when you have a winner in the final, it means you undoubtedly have a loser, and this time around that is Manchester United. United have had a miserable season, one definitely to forget. It remains to be seen if they can cross the 40-point mark when they take on Champions League chasing Aston Villa in their final game on Sunday at Old Trafford. I wonder what the mood will be like in the stadium. It remains to be seen how Ruben Amorim builds his squad, gets them off the floor following tonight's defeat, and shapes up for next season. That is assuming Amorim will be there at the start of the season, and if he is not going to be there, who do you think will be at the helm of the Red Devils? Who do you think Manchester United need to hire to turn their fortunes around next season? There were some impressive performances from the Red Devils tonight. I liked what I saw from Patrick Dogu. I think Euro did his thing as usual. Casemiro was okay, but in terms of people who didn't show up, Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, and Amad Diallo did not really have the best of games. Rasmus Højlund had a forgettable season. From the Spurs persuasion, I think my man of the match for Spurs would be between Odoji and Pape Matesa and Yves Bissouma. But then again, Spurs have had a lot of people who stood up when it mattered most and can be counted. Of course, Brennan Johnson with his goal, not just the goal, but the performance with Richarlison as well, Christian Romero, Pedro Porro, and of course the goalkeeper Vicario. Spurs heading into the Champions League, Manchester United heading into the pool of mediocrity. Nothing really to play for other than the domestic campaign next season. Can United bounce back? They've had 5 finals in 5 seasons, which in itself is impressive. They would have obviously wanted to win this for a lot of reasons. But let's see, which of these two teams do you think will do better next season? Spurs, of course, have the cash to attract the best or best available. Man United are going to have to make some very shrewd signings. Looks like they are trying to bring in Matthias Cunha. There will have to be a few outgoings for them to be able to create some cash. They would hope that if there are players who went out on loan and impressed and can't really be seen to fit into Amorim's plans, they'll be able to get some decent money to be able to properly supplement their squad for their coach. Whether it's Amorim, whether it's someone else, that remains to be seen. Guys, it's been a pleasure bringing this video to you. My name is James Brew of the Brew Show. You can follow the Brew Show on Facebook, X, LinkedIn, YouTube, Threads, and Instagram. And you can follow James Brew on the exact same platforms with the inclusion of TikTok. Once again, congratulations to Tottenham Hotspur. Commiserations going out to all Manchester United fans. And I'll catch you same time next time. Bye for now.